Hello and welcome to my first proper video. My introduction was the last thing uploaded, so yeah. Anyhow, since last time, I've finally gotten my graph theory midterm back, and I did very well on that, much better than expected, which is always a good thing. Top of the class, woo! There's my bragging. So, what is it that I really wanted to talk about in this one? Well, today I finally got around to finishing And Another Thing, the sixth book in the increasingly misnamed Hitchhiker, or I guess inaccurately named Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy trilogy. And quite frankly, it sucked just so much. Now, you have to understand one very important thing. I love the Hitchhiker's books. Douglas Adams is brilliant. I will say, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, Mostly Harmless, I think they're the weakest books in the trilogy. But even then, Adams' writing is just, it has the exact kind of humor I love. It's dry, there's, it's quintessential British humor, really, is all I'm trying to get at. And then he passed away before he was able to conclude the Hitchhiker's trilogy the way he wanted to. I believe there was word of him wanting to have everybody meet up at, the restaurant at the end of the universe, and Fenchurch is there as a waitress, so she and Arthur finally get their happy ending, and everything works out fine. Instead, we got And Another Thing. It picks up where Mostly Harmless left off. The main characters are stranded on an alternate universe Earth just before it's about to get destroyed by the Vogons. Again. So, the Guide Mark II has let them live out fantasy lives for some reason, I guess, and then they escape and go on a wild adventure. And they meet one of the bit characters from an earlier book who happens to be immortal, and he falls in love with Trillian, or she falls in love with him, whatever, and he fights Thor, and the entire thing is just pointless. Because, look, I know the universe hates Arthur Dent. Okay, I get that. But it ends with Arthur Dent sitting on the island from his little hallucination at the very beginning of the book, and the world that his hallucination is on is about to get destroyed by Vogons. Again. So Arthur doesn't get a happy ending, and quite frankly, that's not my biggest problem, but the entire book just frustrates me. First off, the characters they don't read like they did in the original 5 books of the trilogy. And yeah, sure, it's a different author, and I get that, but it's almost like there wasn't even any attempt to get the voice right. The only character who even seems remotely close to how he was when Douglas Adams wrote it is Zaphod, and that's good, because Zaphod is actually one of the most featured characters in the book. Unfortunately, we also have to put up with Random Dent, who is Trillian and Arthur's daughter, and she's an annoying little brat, and I really, really wish that I did not have to read about her, because she is just... Oh, it's just horrible, really, is all I'm trying to say. Maybe my complaints are totally out there and they are unfounded, and yes, I realize this is more of just things I hate about the book and not a lot of logic behind it. It's just frustrating, because anyhow, if you skip to the end just to see what kind of point I've made, And Another Thing is crap. If you like the Hitchhiker's books, don't even bother reading it. It's a pointless waste of your time, and you will probably hate it. Colfer is no substitute for Douglas Adams. If you want your Adams fix, read the Hitchhiker's Galaxy trilogy again. Read his what's the guy's name? Read his Dirk Gently novels. Even read the biography of Douglas Adams by Neil Gaiman, which is actually funny and feels like it's written in the vein of Douglas Adams, mainly because Neil is a far superior author. So yeah, and another thing is terrible. Please don't read it ever if you even remotely like the Hitchhiker's trilogy. And that is where I will end my rant. So, have a good night, and I'll see you next time.